So everyone has been wondering, where exactly is Wendy Williams and how is she doing? Well, we have an update. And did Wendy Williams recently move out of her New York City penthouse? Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it's been radio silence when it comes to Wendy Williams. As you know, there have been multiple reports. Wendy's working on a reality show. Wendy's working on a podcast. And a lot of people have said, including ourselves, that Wendy doesn't need to work on any of that. She needs to work on her sobriety because it appeared that Wendy had some both physical and some addiction issues, okay? Well, the last video that we did during the holidays, we reported to you that Will Selby, her maybe manager, not sure if he's still her manager, confirmed that she needed to take some time off. He said that she needed to sit her ass down. Those were his literal words when he stopped by Angela Yee's radio show. That was also the time that he told the story that Wendy used him, flirted with him in order to make her then ex-husband, Kelvin Hunter, jealous. And we all said, why would you share this? And you're her manager. Why would you even put this out there? At the time, we all said, I don't know if he's still her manager. Well, based off this latest update, it may be that Wendy has gotten rid of her team and has moved out of New York City to be with her family. As always, we always cite our sources here on the channel, so shout out to our friends over at Chronicle Speaks, who always keeps us up to date. She's always digging. She's always finding out the information. As always, we will be posting her full video in here because she also gives you a Sharina Hudson update. I don't care about Sharina Hudson. But maybe you do. Maybe you do. But all of you always ask me about an update when it comes to Wendy Williams, because you know we've been following the rise and fall of our girl Wendy for the last couple of years. But a lot of you have been concerned because you haven't heard from Wendy. You haven't seen a sighting of Wendy. But in my head, and based on what I was hearing, for me, it was better that we weren't hearing something from Wendy. Because to me, the quiet meant that she was working on her sobriety. Word on the street, rumors were saying that she was in rehab. New York City, are you ready? Kempire After Dark is coming January 25th, this Thursday. Have you gotten your tickets yet? Well, there are only a few tickets left, so go check. I can't wait to have some kitchen table talk. Speaking of Wendy Williams, kitchen table talk with you. We have to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta reboot. We have to talk about the Salt Lake City final part of their reunion. Monica. We have to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We also have to talk about Diddy. We have to talk about this Wendy Williams update and so much more. For more information on how you can get your tickets for our Kempire After Dark tour, be sure to check out the description. And in Washington, D.C., we haven't forgot about you. February 16th, coming to your city. Book my hotel. Can't wait to have more conversation with you then. Again, be sure to check out the description for more details. Well, now, according to Miss Jones, you remember Miss Jones. Miss Jones from back in the day, she used to be a singer, but then she had a very popular radio show here in New York City. Then she was kicked out of New York. We even told you about a rumor back in the day that Kelvin Hunter had hired a hitman to get her. Well, despite all of that, once Wendy got rid of Kelvin Hunter, it actually mended relationships with some people that he had burned bridges with, including Miss Jones. So Miss Jones recently spoke out and confirmed that when she went to go visit her friend, Wendy, that Wendy had moved out of her New York City apartment for months.
Now, Miss Jones, growing more and more concerned about not hearing from Wendy recently, decided to pull up on Wendy's house. And according to her, this is how it went down.
Okay, so yesterday, Wayne made me go and visit Wendy Williams.
I made you go.
Everybody was in on it.
You know what? I sort of did because I kept saying, did you go? Did you go? Did you go?
And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah.
So I pull up. First, I pulled up to the wrong building.
It's been a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
And I had to walk, but it was okay. And so I get there. I go inside. The door people greet me and and I said, this might be a shot in the dark, sir, but I'm here to visit Wendy. And he shakes his head and he goes, "You're a couple of months late.
Wow.
She moved." And I said, and he goes, "Yeah, that's all I can tell you." So, I start prying. I'm like, "Well, did they sell the unit? Is it on the market?" Because this was a fabulous duplex. And the building she was living in, which now I could tell you guys, it was supposed to be a hotel originally. And then COVID hit and they couldn't, obviously, no one was supposed to be in a hotel, so they sold it. And she told me how much she paid for it. And I was like, that was such a steal. It was beautiful, 2-floor, 3-bedroom unit. So I thank you, sir. And then I go and I look for the other people that, live in the building, work in the building.
Start sleuthing.
Yup. And I got my sleuth on. And they said, well, you know what happened? She was getting better. She was coming around. And then she started getting sick again. And because her family's in Florida. And people were coming in her circle that they weren't familiar with. And they didn't know, they couldn't get access to her when they wanted. They moved her down to Florida. So she is allegedly down in Florida with her son, recuperating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we wish her.
We do wish her well.
Yeah.
And Wendy, if you listening, you won. Did he go into jail for Easter?
Miss Jones, and then this is probably part of the reason why the rumors out there were that Kelvin Hunter were trying to off Miss Jones, because she was probably the only other radio personality that kind of reminded people of Wendy Williams. But she has made a name for herself in her own right. Go Google schmoogle Miss Jones, okay? But here's the thing. One of the resounding things that we have said since we've been covering this Wendy Williams situation, and as you know, and if you don't know, Wendy is under a guardianship. And Kevin Jr. did an interview, I believe it was with The Sun, several months ago, confirming that the people that were around his mother were not the best people for her. And he also questioned the people behind this guardianship. So I find it interesting that because, according to Miss Jones, she wasn't getting better, and then finally, Kevin, her son, has his mom in Florida. And mind you, he even said this in the interview. He says, when my mom was with me, you didn't see all of these things on social media or in the news or the blogs about her. And the fact that we haven't seen Wendy and it's been a few months says to me that she might be in a better place with her son, as opposed to the hangers-on and the people, the leeches that just want her for whatever they can do. And I don't know if that one of those people is Will Selby, but like I said, based off the last story that we did about a month ago, that couldn't be a friend to me. That couldn't be a manager to me. And remember, Kevin Jr. in that interview said he didn't like Will Selby either and questioned his motives in regards to doing this reality show and things like that. I don't know, but what I do know is that whoever was around Wendy at that time were not looking out for her better good. They were not. And I much prefer her be with her family, including Tommy. And we've talked about Tommy. But I believe that they will always have her better interests at heart, even though some of them, Tommy, might have other interests. I do believe that Kevin Jr., her son, will always have her best interests. At least better than these other people that don't know her, that aren't invested in her life like that. So I wonder, in regards to the financial guardianship that she's under, how that's being handled, because the last thing that Kevin Hunter Jr. reported was that when he had his mom, they threatened him that if he did not bring her back to New York, that there would be trouble. So according to our friends of Chronicle Speaks, because as I mentioned to you before, they're saying, according to this doorman, that Wendy moved out. But is she selling her New York City penthouse apartment? Well, based off of Chronicle Speaks, Google Schmoogle, well, not Google Schmoogle, she does her research. The house is not on the market and doesn't look like she's selling it right now. So that is your update. I think no news is probably good news when it comes to Wendy Williams. Yes, we all want to hear what Wendy has to say about Diddy. And we all want to hear her voice in this world of entertainment, because the daytime talk show game is not what it used to be. No shade to anyone that's currently in it, but it's not. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this new update when it comes to Wendy Williams and her well-being. Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news, when we go live, or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse.